Law's dedicated Lorcana Twitch channel. So I thought I'd do a little bit of an end of season review now that Archazia's Island's finished and we're into Reign of Jafar. I'm going to do a few videos about some of the decks we saw quite a lot of during the last season and where they think they're going into the new season. And I figured I'd start off with something that I played a lot of in the last season, which is Blurple. Amethyst Sapphire, but Blurple as we all call it. So, I mean, the deck that I had changed and evolved a lot over the course of, mostly during the set championships, to be honest. But there were a few cards that were really, really common to all the decks, and a few cards that I put in myself, obviously. We'll start off going through these. So, obviously, Popsicle, very key turn 1 card. Hopefully straight into Bell on that same turn. That was, I think everyone running Blurple was running that combo, and, you know, it's exactly what you want. You've also got the 5-cost Bell, the Shift Accomplished Mystic, to shift some damage across for later on. Again, I was always running 4, 4 and 4 of these last season, and I think that's going to be exactly the same going into Reign of Jafar, to be honest. So far in my testing, that it's shown it's still working. Not everyone did this, but I also ran 4 copies of Diablo. A lot of people just wanted the Popsicle for turn 1. I like the Diablo, potentially as it's a target for Crab, which I also ran 3 to 4 of, and for Madame M. Fox, which I always ran 4 of as well. So, you know, that was a good opening combo. But what you're really looking for in your mulligan, in your opening hand, was your ramp, of which you've got Sail the Azurite Sea and Tipo. Again, always 4 of. So in an ideal world, you're hitting Popsicle, Bell, one of these two, doesn't matter which one. And again, for turn 2, Friends on the other side. That would be your ideal opening hand. You're not going to get that all the time, not very often at all. So generally, it's the ramp you're looking for. The others are just a bonus. Okay, let's move these aside. The other thing I ran 4 of course, Genie. It's card draw, along with the Popsicle and the Friends on the other side. That's even more card draw. The Diablo's card draw as well. And that's a 4 of in every Blurple deck, I'm certain. Another 4 cost we had there was Iago. Now Iago, I ran 2 to 3 of him. Against anything steel, fairly useless card. Against anyone not running steel, however, really strong card. A lot of people didn't run counters to Iago at all. And when they didn't, he could run riot all day long, take a few things out, you shift the damage with Bell, you kill some more things. Really strong combo. I, on the other hand, ran counters to Iago for the mirror match specifically. I ran Helping Hand. Now, I saw some people using Hypnotic Strength or similar cards to that. Helping Hand, chosen character gains support this turn and draw a card. 1 cost, uninkable, I know, but 3 of those was not too bad in a deck because, of course, it's a card draw. And also, again, you use that on something like your Genie, which you're always going to quest. You're giving 2 strength to potentially a Diablo or your Iago to put up to 6. You can run that on another card that I ran occasionally but dropped towards the end, which is Gaston. Again, if you had the 8 cost Elsa, which I didn't run, that's questing for 3 and giving 4 strength to something else. So Helping Hand, as well as being a direct killer for Iago in your opposition, was just a really strong card I found that not many people seem to be using. Okay, another card you're always going to run 4 of, Elsa. Incredible card. The rush, the evasive, the exerter character. Just so useful in every situation. And again, if you're playing the 8-drop Elsa from set 1, you know, you've got your shift target there. So yeah, really strong card. I always ran 4 of those. The Gaston, I ran 2, 3, and then 0. As I say, we've got 2 or 3 of the Iago and 2 or 3 of the Helping Hand in my deck. That was Tamatoa, another card that at some points 4. Towards the end, I was down to 3 of those, and I think for the new season, I'm still going to be on 3 of those. Really strong card to bring back your Porpsicles, but if you haven't seen any Porpsicles, a fairly useless card you get stuck with in your hand. You have no other items in this deck. Some people are running items. Croquet Mallet's a popular one to give something rush. Personally, I've stayed away from that. Some other cards that obviously you have the Hades, 4 of. Sorry. 4 of those. That's just an incredible card still from set 1. Going out of rotation soon, but really good. You are going to ramp your opponent with that, but it removes anything from the board except for characters with ward. But yeah, really strong card. And of course, you can bounce it back with your Madame Mim. Bring it to hand, use it again next turn. Excuse me. So the rest of the cards here were sort of in and out in numbers. I did for a little while run a single copy of Let It Go to do the same thing as Hades. But this could be sung by your Elsa or your Belle. I took that out towards the end, but it was useful when I had it in. Merlin Goat, I started off with none, and that's the card that's kind of increased in count as the set went on. I found that, you know, that obviously you've got the bounce again to get more lore. But of course, whenever it goes to the field, you get a lore. When it leaves the field, you get a lore. So you can finish off games with that card. McDuck Manor was either a 4 or 0. So at times I was running 4, and other times I was running none. I found obviously we all know it's a great card. It's so hard to remove. It's 2 lore return. If you get a couple down there, it really puts your opponent under some pressure. But getting them early game, whilst you could steam out to a big lead, I found was quite inconsistent because they destroy them and you've got nothing else. You've got no board presence with characters. So eventually I dropped it, but I did bring it back in time for we went to the Games Expo and played 3 days there. And to be honest, it didn't help me there at all. And another card that's also a consideration, obviously, is Merlin Rabbit. Now, obviously, this is your 2 cards at least. If you're bouncing it with Mim, you're looking at limitless cards, really. I played one of them. I know it's a strange decision just to run one, but it's a nice card along with Diablo to drop if you're expecting a Be Prepared coming to come the next turn. Your Goats are also another one for that. Rather than, losing all your characters playing, for example, a genie and then losing him next turn for nothing. At least you're getting a card back with this. A lot of people also ran Finders Keepers. I didn't, but it's something I'm moving on to in Season 8, I think, with this deck. But yeah, I mean, overall, I achieved a modicum of success with it. I started the set champs out playing Ruby Amethyst and had one really bad day where I got aggroed out of things completely, and that's what made me make the switch. And then once I switched to this, I played 4 set champs with this. 1-2, runner-up in another one, and top 4 in the last one. So, pretty successful, but obviously other people have had different varying levels of success, and it does have some weaknesses, as every deck does. So, going on to Reign of Jafar now, we've got a few new cards that might make an impact. First of all, we have this Monstro card, which I've seen in quite a few decks already. Now, I personally haven't put it in my Blurple deck yet. I find it's too slow with the current sort of very aggressive meta. But I think as the set goes on, he'll become a really good card. He has Rush, he's a very big body, and then you can discard a card and ready him. He can't quest, but he can carry on attacking. In similar vein to Scar the Vicious Cheater from the earlier sets. So yeah, really strong card. I think we'll see it in a few Blurple decks for sure. This one I initially thought might make a little bit of an impact, but so far I haven't found a place to fit it in, and I haven't seen anyone else running it. But obviously, if you down in New Orleans may make some Blurple decks, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal a character, item, or location of cost 6 or less, and play it for free, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck. Now you can use that to target things like a Gaston. So obviously, if you've used it, found your Gaston, you then look at the top 3 cards of your deck with Gaston and put one in your hand. So that's a really powerful combo, but again, it's a lot of uninkables. Your Tamatoa is obviously another big target for this card. Get your Tamatoa to the field, get some items back. Now, obviously, if you do run down on New Orleans, don't do what I saw one person do, which is play it before you banish your Porpsicles. You need to banish those Porpsicles first so that your Tamatoa, if you find it, has some impact. Another card that we saw a little bit of in Blurple in the last set, but not much at all, is Kuzco. This banishes, puts an item or location into its player's inkwell, and obviously is often forgotten secondary ability by invite only. 4 ink, and your other characters gain resist +1 to the start of your next turn. Actually, more useful than the amount it's used. But again, this is a card you can find if you run it in your deck with your down in New Orleans. And last of all, there's the new Anna, only available in these colours. She's a 3/6 6-cost, quest for 2 with shift 4. We'll talk about her more in a second, but she has support. And if you have a character named Elsa in play, which of course we know we're going to be running for with that 5th spirit at least, every time she quests you can draw a card, which is great. I haven't seen her have much impact yet, but she's a card that could be used in the upcoming meta. And let's talk about her now. So, shift targets. You could potentially, there's another new Anna, which I don't think we'll see a lot of, but when you play this character, if you have a character named Elsa in play, you can put the top card of your deck into your inkwell, face down and exerted. So that's a bit of ramp. And she quests for 2, but she's a 3-cost 2/2. I don't think we'll see much of her. But if you did decide to run her, and you potentially want to run more Elsas of different sorts, but that's a potential shift target. Another one, of course, is Anna Braving the Storm. There's a few heroes in this deck. Mostly it's allies and mentors, but of course your Elsa is the hero. So that's a possible shift target to play the big Anna on turn 4. And then of course we have the card we're mostly looking at, which is the Elsa, the 5th spirit, as your Elsa in this situation. Some other cards that are in this set that we might see. I don't think we're going to see much of Jiminy Cricket, but he's a potential tool in some decks. Evasive, 1/1, 2-cost, but when this character is exerted, opposing characters with rush enter play exerted. Now, if we start to see a drift back towards the Peter Pan Shadowfinder, this guy would give your opponent a very hard time. Again, it only delays them for 1 turn, but of course, you keep playing those to the field, and everything that comes in with evasive or rush is coming in exerted. I don't think we'll see much, but it's a possibility. Then we have the Into the Unknown, which I'm loving in this set. It's effectively a version of Let It Go, but for 3 costs that can be sung as could Let It Go, of course. The only difference is their character has to be exerted before you can put it in their inkwell. But it's a really quick. It can be sung by so many of your characters. You can even sing it on turn 2 if you've got your bell out on turn 1. I don't think you want to ramp them that early, but. Yeah, I'm on 4 of that in my current deck. And some other cards we might see in limited quantities. Ratigan, I talked about yesterday during our box opening. He's an 8-cost 6/7 with Ward. Quest for 4, but at the end of the turn, if you didn't put cards into your inkwell, you banish him. Now, you should be inking regularly, perhaps not so much by that turn, but really he's a kind of last ditch. Let's get him out there. Get 4 lore next turn and win the game effectively. Now, if you're playing against red, against Ruby players, obviously be prepared. You've got to watch out for Beaking Undisputed, Lady Tremaine, all things that can kill him. So try and either do it when you know they're not going to be prepared, or when you've got more characters on the board, even just a little 1-cost Diablo, just to avoid the Tremaine situation. And one I really don't think will have as much of an impact is the Megara. The 3-cost 2/5, quest for 1 only. While you have a character named Hades in play, she gains Challenger +2. Now that's awesome once you've got your Hades out on turn 7, but until then it's really just ink fodder. So perhaps not, but it's a possibility that someone may choose to take that into their deck. So yeah, that's really a kind of quick review on Blurple, what it did last season for me, and what I think could be the impact cards this season. I'm going to look at a few other decks, obviously, but this one was sort of the one that I played the most and had the most success with, so I thought I'd start with this. Obviously, we're seeing some real changes in this set in terms of a lot of the meta. Amber Steel's really popular right now. I think we've lost a lot of the Ruby Sapphire. There's some good new Ruby Amethyst decks coming up, so we'll look at all of those decks in the next week or two, just to see where we are, and I'll continue testing in the meantime to see what impact I think certain cards are going to have. Thank you very much for your time. I know it's short and sweet, but yeah, thank you.